Osoosi is the brother of Ogun and Shango. Similar to the two of them, Osoosi is a hunter. He's extremely well versed in herbs, as well as the layout of the land. In some systems, he's also an archetype of agriculture. Very, very similar to Ogun in terms of character, but also in terms of offerings that you would bring. The same offerings that you would bring to Ogun, you can pretty much bring to Osoosi. It's one of the reasons why, for those who have received Ogun, when you do receive Ogun, typically you will receive Osoosi, or if you get an opportunity to ever see up close or see inside of an Ogun pot, you'll typically always see an archery set or a metal bow and arrow. Sometimes people don't realize that it's actually a bow and arrow, but it looks like a W almost, but it's a metal bow and arrow, and that represents Osoosi. Of course, Ogun is a hunter as well, but you know, there are different aspects to even Ogun, so that the hunter aspect to Ogun, it can also represent itself as his brother Osoosi. In the Apollo systems, he would be Matalumbo. In the zodiacal system, he would be Sagittarius. Okay, so we're dealing with the energy of the archer. There's a couple things you got to keep in mind. Number one, he is the tracker, Orisha. He is the tracker. Now, we know when you're hunting, you have, you know, hunting and tracking. You know, you have to track your game, you know, and then once you track it, you hunt it down. So look at it like this. Osoosi tracks it, Ogun hunts it, or Ogun kills it. All right. But you need Osoosi first to chart your path, to chart which way to go. That's why Osoosi is critical. Unfortunately, you don't hear a whole lot about Osoosi. People usually go right from Ogun to Shango to Eshu, but Ogun, Shango, Eshu, and Osoosi are all very similar and very tight with each other. Now, again, as I've said on many occasions, that you need to keep in mind that these energies have been anthropomorphized for us to better understand them. So when we say that Ogun, Shango, and Osoosi are brothers, you got to keep in mind that that's just dealing with these are energies that work together. So Osoosi, being the archer, being the astral traveler, you invoke Osoosi first to scout out the solution for what you want to get done. I kind of mentioned this in my book, Grasping the Root of Divine Power, a little bit with the whole Osoosi piece. But you use Osoosi first. Okay, the same way you would invoke Ogun, you can pretty much invoke Osoosi the same way. Okay, now the whole science of the whole arrow with the bow and arrow, all this represents is this. This is an energy that it shoots something into the heavens, because an arrow goes where? Into the air, right? So you remember the air, or going above, that's Olorun. Olorun means owner of the heavens, or owner of the sky. Sometimes you'll see Olorun again translated as sky god. Keep in mind, we're not talking about gods, we're talking about avatars or archetypes. Osoosi is an avatar for astral travel. Osoosi is an avatar for astral travel. Okay, so the arrow goes up into the air and it hits something, and then it comes down with that something. Okay, so that's the same thing you do when you astral travel. There's a lot of people who email me or call me, or a lot of clients I work with. That's one of the first things they want to get into. It's funny because the children, they always want to levitate. They always want to fly. Because I always tell them about, our ability to fly, even as documented in the narratives, the enslaved narratives that we have here, and those also that were taken to Haiti. We have a lot of documents that specify where people had say people got up and flew back home. So they always want to fly, and the adults, after they want to get the rituals to get their mate, they want to astral travel. You astral travel when you dream at night anyway. Okay, that's just something that you do automatically. What you want to do is astral travel with a purpose, of course. But Osoosi is an expert astral traveler. We have 3 Orisha who are really heavy when we want to get into the astral travel that we can invoke. One being Osoosi, the other one Oya, and the other one Oshun. These are master astral travelers. Okay, so but with Osoosi, he's not only astral traveling, but he scouts out the direction that you need to go in. See, you can have the brute force of Ogun, you can have the creativity and the courage of Shango. You can even have a way and an opportunity be opened up for you by a shoe. But which one, which direction do you put all that courage and force into? Which opportunity do you take? Well, here, this is where Osoosi comes in.